default answer in the aesthetics industry. Every time a practitioner feels stuck, bookings are slow, the business isn't growing, or perhaps your confidence is low, someone tells them the same thing. Go and get another qualification. And most of us do, because it feels productive and I guess somewhat responsible. But the industry is very good at selling us the idea that the next course, the next certificate, the next set of letters after our name is what's standing between us and the business we want. I want to challenge that today, not because qualifications don't matter, because they absolutely do, but because I've watched too many brilliant practitioners invest thousands of pounds and months of their lives into training they simply didn't need, chasing a feeling that more knowledge would finally make them feel ready. And guess what? It didn't, and it rarely does. And I know this because I did it too. And I guess here's the thing no one really talks about. When we reach for another qualification, we're not usually responding to an actual clinical gap. We're responding to a feeling, the feeling that we're not quite enough, that patients aren't booking because there's something we haven't mastered yet, that if we could just offer more treatments, more modalities, more options, then the business, well, it would finally take off. I felt that feeling for a long time, and I kept thinking I needed to expand my skill set, add more services, and become even more advanced. Because then surely, if I could offer more, I'd attract more patients. What I didn't realize at the time was that the feeling wasn't telling me the truth. The feeling wasn't a skill gap at all. It was simply a positioning gap. And those are two completely different problems with two completely different solutions. When I look back at that period, I can see it clearly now. I was trying to appeal to everyone. I had no clear picture of who my perfect patient was. I was just keeping my offer wide because I was afraid that if I narrowed it, I'd lose people. So I kept widening and I had more treatments with more options and even more reasons for anyone, to book in with me. The wider I went, the more generic I became. And unfortunately, the more generic I became, the more invisible I was, simply diluted. Because in a market full of practitioners offering everything to everyone, there is no reason to choose you specifically. You don't have a POD. So this results in booking staying slow. And when this happened, I would tell myself, well, the problem must be that I wasn't advanced enough, that I needed one more course, one more technique, but I was trying to solve the wrong problem. And to be honest, the thing that was making me feel unqualified had nothing to do with my clinical skills. It was actually that I had not understood who my ideal patient was. And when you haven't decided that, you are competing against every other practitioner in your area and probably losing in the dreaded race to the bottom. Here's what I want you to hear. Depth beats breadth every single time. The practitioner, who is known as the person for one specific thing, for one specific type of patient, will always outperform the jack of all trades, no matter how many qualifications they have. Because people don't book the most qualified person. They book the person who seems most likely to understand them. Think about the practitioners you know who are fully booked, not the ones with the longest list of certifications, the ones with the clearest positioning statements, the ones when you describe a specific concern to a friend, that friend immediately says, you need to go to him or go to her. That's what you're building towards. And guess what? No qualification is going to get you there. What gets you there is knowing your perfect patient so specifically, so precisely, that everything about your brand, your content, your language, your offer, it speaks directly to them and only to them. When I stopped trying to be everything to everyone and committed to serving a very specific type of patient with a very specific approach, the feeling of being unqualified disappeared almost overnight. Not because I got better at my skills. My skills actually hadn't changed. I had just gotten clearer about who my offering was for. So if it's not more qualifications, then what actually is it? It's the work most practitioners avoid because it's really uncomfortable and it doesn't come with a certificate. It's sitting down and asking yourself, who is my perfect patient? Not who could I help? Guys, that list is way too long. Who is the specific person whose problem I am uniquely here to solve? What do they care about? What are they afraid of? What language do they use when they describe what they want? It's making a decision about what you want to stand for, not a list of everything you offer. And this is a position, a clear, confident answer to the question, What is your clinic for? It's building your content, your brand, your consultation process around that specific patient and trusting that by going narrow, you will become more magnetic and less diluted. This is the work. And it is harder than booking a course. There is no accreditation body or certificate for clarity. Nobody gives you this certificate for knowing your audience, but it is the work that actually moves the business. And yes, I still invest in training. I always will because clinical excellence matters. But I invest in it now from a position of clarity, not as an answer to a feeling of inadequacy, not because I'm trying to be more broadly appealing, because it genuinely serves the specific patient I've decided to serve. And that's the difference. The question to sit with after this video isn't what should I learn next? It's, do I actually know who I'm building this for? Because the answer to that question will do more for your clinic than any qualification on the market will. I'm Nurse Sarah Louise. This is the Business Injection, and I'll see you in the next one.